everybody. Welcome to our panel. I'm Adrian Moraro, the president of Romanian Business Club of Switzerland, and I'm very happy that you are coming to assist to our discussion panel. Today, we will debate a very interesting subject, and I invite on the scene our speakers. I will start with our Romanian attaché, Claudiu Mihail Ionescu. Welcome. Professor Vincenzo Pallotta from Applied Sciences University. Antonia Lomer, Disrupting Woman. Marius Betrich, Professional IT. Marius. Anca Coriu, Entrepreneur. It's a very short presentation, and I will invite you after to discuss with them, hoping that the subject we are debating today will be interesting you. In the context of nowadays, artificial intelligence is transforming industries, reshaping business models, and redefining the way companies innovate. Yet, a crucial question remains: is artificial intelligence capable of generating innovation? This is our starting question, and I will try to ask our guests some questions, and I hope we will find some answers for these actual problems. In this panel, as I was presenting, their specialists, their business leaders, their innovators, and experts in IT, and we'll explore the intersection of AI, entrepreneurship, and innovation. The first issue that I was thinking about is AI and is evolving in entrepreneurial thinking. Can AI support business leaders in making bold, creative decisions, or does it risk limiting human critical thinking and intuition? This is the starting question. Once again, is AI support business leader in decision-making process? Who want to start?
I'll start. First of all, good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm also happy that there is a lot of participants. Very interesting topic indeed. My take on this topic is the following. I think entrepreneur should use what AI is good for, meaning AI can process a lot of data, and any data-driven decision can support bold decision taken by the entrepreneurs. That's one. The second, it can help in easy prototyping products. So, for example, if you have an idea and prototyping is maybe expensive, or I don't know, it can take many iterations, or things like this. It can help speeding up having a proof of concept, for example. And another thing that I can think of is maybe your business is in an environment that is very complex, and AI can help you to simulate, to predict what's going to happen in a very complex environment. So, but in the end, my claim is that uh, AI, and I'm thinking of LLM right now, don't have intention, don't have gut feeling, and that spark that is specific to entrepreneurs is still human.
Thank you. Anka, as an entrepreneur, what is your point of view?
Thank you. So I am Anca Coriu. My business is about health economics. I measure the outcomes, the financial outcomes of medical innovation. And this is what I do for different kinds of stakeholders, insurers, businesses, pharmaceutical product producers, and public health. So for me, definitely the answer is yes. AI can help innovation, especially for human-sized businesses and for startups that are very agile. And it can help on different layers. Huh? So first of all, it definitely supports processes. While I manage an international business, it takes a lot of effort just to translate into the different kind of languages, the innovation that I'm bringing, right? So this is AI helped me shorten the process. I don't need to go through a translation agency anymore. I can just translate it and use my local distributors to verify the translation, so the information flows much faster. When there is a product innovation that AI can drive, sometimes my clients, depending on the education they have in different cultures, they can find that my product is complex, right? It's difficult, it's at the intersection of epidemiology and finance and productivity theory. So what I ask AI to do is help me, break my product into small products that are easily digestible. So I didn't need a huge innovation team. We came up with some ideas that I just checked with my business partners, and then we just went and checked them into the market. So in some markets, it allowed us to start from training. You should just sell training. Just teach people this is possible. It's possible to measure the outcomes of what we are bringing into the market at group level, right? The other type of innovation is really linked with measuring the outcomes of what we do. So it is, I guess everybody that has an activity agrees, it is quite difficult to keep a journal of everything you do. No? And AI can do that for us and then just give us an analysis of on what did we spend the time and how we can really improve our productivity. As I said, we are a human-sized company. We have 20 members, and a lot of us are really experts in very different domains. So for me, the answer is definitely yes on different levels. Plus pricing. I forgot pricing. Pricing is another very interesting area where AI can help. Obviously, from different industries, you have different pricing models, from pay-as-you-go to license, subscription fees, you name it. I mean, there is a lot of way to the pricing. And most of us don't have a lot of knowledge from other markets, like from insurance market, for instance. So AI helped us, understand the pricing models that really speak to the respective market segment.
Thank you. Any other? Antonia,
From my side, I would just add one thing because the question raises a very important thing about critical thinking. So, what will happen for us humans if we start using artificial intelligence? Will we let decision making to AI, or we keep it with ourselves? And in business, what I've seen that AI is very useful, but up to the decision making point, it brings, as Ankan mentioned, also brings a lot of information. It brings a lot of support in how you collect information for decision making. But the critical thinking, I still, it's safe to keep it with humans for the moment at least. I don't know what happens in the future. We will see, maybe things will change, but this is what I see at least happening right now.
thank you, Antonia. Any other opinion, Professor Palaton?
Hello, everybody. I'm going to give you a perspective from educational sector. I'm a professor, and yeah, I agree with all what has been said. Process, decision making, data-driven decision making, prototyping, But I take a different perspective. So I tell my students, um, try to use AI, LLMs, whatever it is, to produce some ideas. And then figure out what AI is not capable to do, to produce, and that's where you can be creative. Because it pushes you to go beyond what AI can, okay? And that's one way to kind of reduce the risk of being replaced by AI. So the creative part is understand what AI cannot do it and push the boundary of human creativity beyond AI creativity. So, and in that sense, it can help because pushes people to do better, more than what AI can do. It can do a lot, so it can bring humans to a different level of creativity than that already achieved by AI system.
Thank you. So, as I understood, this AI is used to improve the human creativity, the human capacity to innovate. So, at this moment, the answer of basic question is AI capable of generating innovation is no or yes.
More or less, no.
No. Thank you.
Um,
Marius,
So I have a practical example here.
yes, please.
Just saw a demo in the last few weeks of a Swiss-based software, AI-based software, that is trained on thousands of patents. It knows how a good patent looks like. It can recognize if an idea it is patentable. It also monitors a lot of scientific papers, and then it is being used by companies such as Philips and Sony and Bosch to invent at scale new patentable ideas. No secret about it. I'm not related to the company. I'm just fascinating about what these guys are doing. Their name is Iprova, yes. I find it as a fascinating usage of AI to accelerate inventions.
That's what. Yeah. Let me ask you something. If that particular AI is trained on the existing patents, right? And we know how LLM works. How? I mean, where does the new idea coming from?
I can answer that. It's because it also monitors the research papers. And it sees trends, for example, in the oil industry. And then, because it knows what's needed in the cosmetics industry, it can suggest to somebody looking to invent something in the cosmetics industry, hey, there's something happening out there beyond your visible horizon.
Yeah, but this is not really innovation. I mean,
It's patentable, so
Just to add something, I think because I know the program you're talking about, and I think it's a lot on information already known. So the research is already known, the domains that are being researched, the need is already known. So yes, the AI is able to capture that and say, oh, there is an uncovered need. Here, there could be a possibility for a new patent. But I'm also challenging innovation in the sense of new disruptive ideas that nobody thought about them yet. So I'm still looking, with doubt, as if, AI is indeed able to come up with an original idea or not.
let me answer to that question with an example. Okay, in my private life, not professional one, I'm a musician. If you want to know what I play, you can talk afterwards. And I'm very interested in music technology. And I have a problem. I'm not going to go into detail, but if you want, I can explain later. I have a problem that I needed to solve related to some appliance, some instruments I'm using that make use of computer technology, software, whatever it is. And I asked ChatGPT to help me to develop a program
that can fix that problem. Okay? I didn't ask ChatGPT, is there anything that fixes that problem? Okay, we started discussing, and finally we end up with something that works and solve this problem. So I said myself, I distribute this program to a community or other musicians who said, finally, we solved the problem. Everybody was happy. And I asked the ChatGPT, but do you know a software, commercial software that does exactly what we have done together? The answer was no. Okay, it wasn't a big software, a big innovation. It brought some value, new value to a community of musicians, and it was new. My idea was new, but ChatGPT helped me in make it real, implement it. It was my idea, okay, but we developed together. So, in a sense, say that ChatGPT invented what it was me. It was driven by myself. GPT, I could not make it because I didn't have the skill. Very important. You can have a good idea, but sometimes you lack the means, the practical skills to make it real. And that's where really it can help.
Referring to the intellectual property rights.
Yeah.
And this is very important because once you are accessing and using the AI in order to create something, to pay tribute to the real creator of
Yeah, that's the angle I was about to talk about. There was a very ugly drama a few weeks ago. I don't know those in the AI bubble, maybe what I'm talking about. There is a very famous cartoon studio, Ghibli, and the AI, I don't know, I don't remember, maybe Claude or ChatGPT. They practically trained this model to make the same kind of tools like Ghibli does, and this raises a lot of questions. Is this ethical? Personally, I don't think so. But how can we train otherwise the AI models to capability to produce something like that? And this is an open topic.
I want to add something here because I have a couple of examples. So the company I work with actually started to write notes on everything they create, saying this was created with the help of this type of AI. Even their internal emails or external emails, they would have a note saying this email was created with AI. So in advance, even if we don't have yet maybe all the regulations in place, some companies are taking measures in the sense that we want to take note, we want to make sure that we are fully transparent of how we communicate what we produce. And even if it's not, again, regulated, we regulate ourselves internally by saying this has a label of AI and human, or this is fully AI. So that's one thing. The other thing I've seen, because I'm very close with Microsoft Teams, they have very, very big teams that are working on the ethical part. On the other hand, of making sure that people feel safe using AI. So, for example, I've worked with companies where some of the employees say we fear that the company can see, for example, how much we are using AI. But Microsoft, I know for sure, they're building these safeguards in order to not give access to the employer or to anybody about the usage of AI. So, for example, anybody using even ChatGPT, you can test this out and you can ask the generative AI tools, can you tell me how many prompts or how much time I'm spending writing prompts or prompting you? The model won't be able to tell you that. And either it gives you a generic message, either it will give you instructions to go check your own history. So it's very interesting on all the initiatives that are going on, even though we don't have yet a clear regulation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, for me, the use of AI poses a lot of ethical problems. It's obviously, it's, evolving so fast that we'll never be able to keep up with regulations, so I'm really pessimistic. So for me, everything that AI is sharing with me most probably comes from other humans or just transgressed some industries. I'm using it, but whatever I put inside, I'm really sure everyone else can see and use. Plus, I have no idea who is using whatever I'm prompting. So I don't know who's using this data and how it's monetizing. So I'm really afraid every time I'm using it, and I'm using it a lot, that we still did not quantify what is the price we are going to pay on that.
This is how some companies are creating value out of ethics because they advertise that they will not use your personal data. Uh, for example, Apple, they are saying that the AI is on your phone only, so your data doesn't leave. So that's one way to create value out of ethical things.
Thank you. Okay, let me just make two jokes. Okay. Uh, First one is how you recognize something that is made by AI. It's perfect. Yeah. Well, when you see something that is perfect, right, likely it's very likely to be generated by AI. And the second is something with my students, which now I forgot. And um, uh, sorry.
You are certainly seeing this reflection with your students, like in their homeworks.
Yeah, they all work. Yeah, this now there is an obsession with regulation, and you have to mention when you use artificial in homework and production. And I mean, I don't know if this is the right approach because it's like we would like we need to ask our students to tell us whenever they use the calculator. Okay, so whenever they do a calculation with a calculator, they have to mention in their homework that they use the calculator. Okay, but today would be absurd to ask such a thing. Tomorrow it would be the same with AI. So you won't even worry about if somebody is using AI for doing some task because it's normality. Now, of course, there are some ethical aspects that should be taken into account, especially those problems related to manipulation of information, which is the same thing that happened with social network, etc. So, I mean, it's a problem, something that has to be considered. But I really should say, I mean, the poison is in the dose. So we exaggerate using AI, probably will become dependent. And my worry is that we prefer have, that's the big worry for me, we prefer have a relationship and interaction with AI rather than with human because the interaction is much richer with AI. And this could be a really problem. And we are closing this sphere of isolation and we prefer to interact with AI rather than with humans because of the richness of the interaction. That could be a really big problem for me.
I would like to add to the ethics part the fact that I didn't try to use AI for my clients, and I will not do. However, I find it really intrusive because I write in different languages and I have another AI than ChatGPT, okay, that is just checking my spelling, right? That I don't send something that doesn't look like perfect English, which I'm most probably incapable of writing. So, even though if I do not put into a ChatGPT the name of a client, well, my nice AI that invited itself is reading everything I type. My email address, his email address, whatever data, what the number of their employees, and this is something all of us are seeing, and I didn't invite it there, so I have no way to ensure my clients AI cannot read what I'm typing. No way. Now, today he invited himself into the WhatsApp group of this panel. I was so scared.
It's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah.
To add on the question about the copyright, there's two parts to the copyright discussion. One of them, the simple one, is if I create a poem with ChatGPT, who owns the copyright? The answer is very simple here. We just check the licenses. I check it both in Microsoft Copilot and in OpenAI. The copyright is fully on the person who wrote the prompt. Okay, so if I create something, I own the copyright. That's the simple part. The more complicated part is when these companies that they create the AIs, they train on some data they don't always have copyright on. And that's a more complicated debate because, for example, in Europe, we are regulating it and we are saying you can't train on copyrighted content. In America, they say you can train on it, but if they will sue you, you'll have to pay. So it's a more of a laissez-faire. In Japan, they're all in. You can train on everything you want, even on the copyrighted content. Why? Because when you're training a large language model, an AI that works with text, you're actually not copying the text. The AI will not copy paste the text. It will learn the patterns and it will calculate certain numbers, they're called weights, and it will store those probabilities of certain words coming one after another. And then when somebody else comes in and uses that AI and they create something, indeed, it might look like Ghibli or uh, like Shakespeare. So it's a more complicated debate.
So it's like you would read that source, not copy it.
Exactly.
Please allow me to give you an example. On this December, on our newsletter, I created a little Romanian nose plugusor. And I was using the ChatGPT based on some keywords, especially for our association, entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation, and so on. And they were able to generate a versification because I had to intervene many times because I was don't liking too much the rhythm. The poetry means not only words and phrases, you have to have a certain rhymes, and so on. But I was very happy at that moment. It was 80% of creativity based on my keywords, and they helped me to generate these producers. So, based on the question that I raised before, who is the author of this, me or ChatGPT? Let's choose between those.
They say it's you.
Okay, thank you
The
very much.
license.
I just want to add another angle for this ethical discussion, a far more serious one. It's very important who controls the weight in a such a model. And think about it. What if there are some maleficent forces that want to, you know, uh, drive some answers to a desired direction? So in my that's very concerning, and uh, a tool like ChatGPT could sometimes be weaponized against, I don't know, the topic of the day.
Thank you. Professor Palota?
I have another worry, which is the following, and it's not just related to AI, but in general to technology we use. Suppose that tomorrow Google Maps shut down, and all the GPS is shut down, and also ChatGPT shut down, and many things that we use every day shut down. What do we do without this technology?
Using maps.
Are we able to step back to how it was a society without this big impact and presence, omnipresence of digital technology? Are we able to become a resilient of this absence? Is it always guaranteed that we can use it? Because this is technologies are on in the end of multinational private companies, not the government that give us these tools. And even if it were government, we should be even more worried. Maybe not here in Switzerland, but somewhere else, that's the case. So ethical aspect should cover also this element of availability, accessibility, inclusion, etc. Not just yeah, it's important copyright, etc. But I think this is it's a minor problem. There are even major problems related to the resilience and the dependence on this tools.
Thank you. It's something related to the previous question. What Swiss regulations should businesses consider when implementing AI? It's a very tricky question. If you know, you can help us. If you know, as I know, the European Union.
I'll try and answer.
Yes.
There is the European AI Act,
Yeah.
and as far as I know, Switzerland is at least partly taking it over. And I also know that EU is leading this process of regulation, which is very needed. Yeah.
The big states are
Just one thing
investing.
from my side to add. I
Yeah.
also know that a lot of international organizations are working to standardize some of the things, but the main challenge here is how quickly can you standardize, because it's very hard nowadays to keep up with the development.
Exactly,
So
because they're investing a lot of fortune in developing AI. United States promises 500 billion. China also, and not only European Union are investing huge amount of money in developing AI. And on the other hand, these regulatory acts are limiting or directing the AI development.
Indirectly, of course, it's limiting, but there is also the people that should be protected, the copyrights, the data sources, and so on. And unfortunately, at least in the United States right now, it will be a period of deregularization. I mean, yeah.
It's not.
One interesting role of the regulation is that it creates predictability, which creates trust. You mentioned you have a hard time adding in certain information rightfully into this or that AI system because you don't really know what is happening out there. Now, there are countries in Asia that are pioneering the regulation. One very good example is China. They are one of the pioneers in the world about technology regulation. And because of that, I have seen reports and research that Chinese, they have more trust into their systems. They accept the social AIs that are monitoring and calculating scores, social scores, just because they are regulated and they trust the system is for a better good.
I'm going to speak as a citizen. So I think we have a very clear idea what is right and wrong in our juridic system in Europe, in Switzerland, in general, that I know best. No? So I think AI should just comply with all, common sense that is recognized by the juridical system, and whatever is infringing it should be penalized. Now, how are we going to implement this and who's going to follow it and so on? It remains to be constructed.
Thank you very much. Because our time is limited, we still have a couple of minutes before our ending. I will let everybody to conclude. I have a list of questions, but I'm afraid we can not finish yet here, but we can continue the dialogue with our speakers in the next hours.
Okay, I would like to conclude with one remark. The one that I recall what I wanted to say before that I forgot, which is related to the conclusion. First, the conclusion is that if we rely to AI, we might become um, uh, lazy, our mind become lazy, and you start forgetting things like the one that I wanted to say. The thing that I wanted to say is that one student told me, you know how I cheat and give you something that looks like it was made by myself. I ask ChatGPT to write in the style of a student that doesn't master completely the subject and make some errors, etc., and then become indistinguishable from something made by a real student. So ChatGPT can take the role of a student and act as a student. So for us, it's very difficult to detect if it was written by a student or by an AI. Okay, so but the conclusion is that yeah, the poison is in the dose, and you must be careful in not exaggerating using it, because otherwise you're going to develop diseases like forgetting things and become too lazy, and your mind is not going to work anymore like you expect.
Thank you very much, Professor.
My final remark, AI is an amazing tool, but it has to be used wisely. It has to be used in a good way. And my claim is still that the entrepreneurial idea is still stays with the human.
Thank you.
So my final thought is actually related to the work that I'm doing, helping organizations to adopt AI. And the question that keeps me up at night is what kind of humans do we need to become for the future that looks like it will be hybrid, it will be AI and human. And with that, I do think that AI will be able to enable innovation, but at least for the moment, I still believe in the human potential, the creativity, the imagination, and the curiosity that AI cannot really pick up on yet.
Very important. Thank you.
I think AI is a train, and we can either take it, jump on it, or we might miss it. And this train is going to touch probably most of the jobs we know. It has a huge potential. We're already seeing it. And yeah, while we are alive. And AI doesn't currently, artificial intelligence doesn't have a problem of capacity. It's super capable. I see this more of a problem of integration. How do we integrate it in our day-to-day lives, in our processes, in our work, being more productive? So the final word from my end would be use it as a co-intelligence, if you want, as a body, as an extra intelligence that helps us accelerate our potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Marius.
So for me, AI is a new era. To step into it is going to pass over us. We want it, we don't want it, as I explained, it invited itself into everything I'm typing, and most probably it's already listening to us. So What I would like to see here, especially in the Innovation Center of Geneva, is a booth where we show innovative ways in which humans are using AI next year.
Thank you, Uncle. So, in my view, I have to agree with all of you. But on the other hand, yes, the question still exists. Can AI generate innovation? Not yet. And yet, we'll see. Thank you very much for your assistance. Please allow me to make a bit of promo for our clubs and to offer to our speaker a little hack. And also, please allow me to invite also for a prize Mr. Dorel Gorga, who is the founder member of our club and who has this brilliant idea. That's why we are now at the Entrepreneurship and Innovation 3.0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.